Hey traders, checking in on Bitcoin and the altcoin space. Some solid bullish action over the last couple of days. Altcoins continuing to run lots of all-time highs out there, including ETH. Is it time to shift back into Bitcoin? Has Bitcoin set its weekly high or low? Let's look at the charts. So before we get into the bigger picture technical analysis, want to point out the S&P 500 and clues that it can give us if we're short-term traders. If you are an investor, if you are dollar cost averaging, if you're a swing trader, this doesn't really apply to you as much. If you are day trading, you have to be watching the broader market. It gives us clues. SPY fell off a cliff today. We can see it clearly has recovered very significantly. But an all-out massive dump, in my opinion, it had a lot to do with just a euphoria climax. If you've been following the wildness going on between Reddit Wall Street bets and stocks like GME, AMC, BB. They're just running these names and causing short squeezes. And here is GME, for those that are not aware, and just a massive move up over the last few days. Insane short squeeze. 400% move in a few days, and our top was hit, climax top, and then we pulled back very quickly over 50%. So that top being set, GME topped out at 1045, and then look at SPY. There is no doubt in my mind, 1045, that top in GME was a climax euphoria top that sent ripple effects across the market. And look at this 1045, Bitcoin. Here's 11 a.m. 11 a.m., we start to drop, and we dropped about 3%. ETH dropped a little bit more than that. So 11 a.m. rolls around, little temporary top being set, and that's a sizable pullback. So a drop of over 4%. There was a heads up. There was a 15-minute lag time between broader market weakness and crypto weakness. That would allow for looking at that massive quick fear in the market, saying, uh-oh, liquidate some positions, lock in some profit, and being able to reload lower, or at least being able to protect profits and then wait for the dust to settle and then jump back in. But again, there's clues. And it was a 15-minute delay before that weakness crept into the cryptocurrency space. Something to always be watching. So let's now do our bigger picture technical analysis. Honestly, I forget where we last checked in. Over the weekend, I do a lot of coverage for members, so I've been talking about cryptocurrency a lot the past 2 days. I forget where we were at on our last public video. I currently am back to just Bitcoin and ETH core positions, but have been doing some ETH trading. We'll get to that when we get there. So as far as Bitcoin is concerned, lower high every day since 37,857. That is the most important resistance level for me. That's our last daily lower high. We broke the pattern of a lower high every day on today's candle. And now I say, okay, daily bounce underway. Anything under that 37.8 level is just a daily lower high. So we are in a daily downtrend, and the lower high is the most likely scenario. That being said, if the bulls were able to top out on this bounce, set a higher low, and confirm a daily trend change back in their favor, the odds of a weekly bull flag would increase significantly. And if you turn on the log chart, it looks a lot more like a bull flag, as the candles are reflective of percentage moves. It's a weekly bull flag. Very simple statement. If 28,700 holds as our low of consolidation, then the weekly chart is a bear flag. Bull flag. The bears would have to break that level to negate this weekly bull flag. So let's see. Summary of what I've done. Just managing my core position. Exited in the 32,000s when our daily support level broke. So exited here, watched for the potential of a bounce fake out. So re-entered a position and then stopped out fairly quickly. Back to all cash. And let's see, on this dump, I got good average. I got an average of, I had a fill of 29,500, 29,000 on the dot, $29,011 to be exact. So I got 2 scale-ins. My core position is 3 scale-ins. So I got 2 of those 3 with an average of 29,300, very comfortable. And I then entered another one, I believe a little bit early. It was 32, the low 32s. And that essentially put my break even on my core position in the low 30,000 range. So I'm pretty darn comfortable with that re-entry of the core position that was 10% lower than where I got stopped out on. So I think it was the last video where I was talking about the importance of stop levels and how people can get frustrated with them. But if you are comfortable jumping in and out and, not getting stopped out and then just not knowing what to do, if you're comfortable getting back in, then stop losses are the way to go to protect profit. So at this point, I will continue to hold my core, and I'll probably stop out if the low were to break from here. But right now, I'm holding that core for a weekly bull flag. Dominance chart got absolutely crushed. 4-hour EMA 12 continuously rejected the price for days and days, and clearly we can say this bounce is a bit different. It's more significant. It's over the EMA resistance. We still need a 4-hour trend change, but it does look like the oversold daily bounce is underway. We know we're just looking for a daily lower high. If the bounce is significant enough on this dominance chart to create the space for a daily trend change, we know the most likely scenario is a weekly higher low, anything above 60.80. Daily trend change is needed for us to have confidence the weekly higher low is set. Again, in my opinion, if we're going to see this bounce have any follow through on the weekly time frame, we will likely need to see Bitcoin back at all-time highs to recapture a lot of that attention and to see those profits from the altcoins file back into Bitcoin for an all-time high test and ideally a new all-time high. So the bulls have a lot of work to do here on the dominance chart, but it's something to be keeping an eye on. You could also look at this and say, well, isn't that a head and shoulders pattern? And that would absolutely be a possibility and something that we will have to watch if and when the bulls do change the daily chart. So all this weakness that we have been seeing on the dominance chart has allowed for a very significant mini little alt season that has allowed for a lot of gains. So ETH, one of the beneficiaries, we had a straight V-shaped bounce, and ETH is not breaking all-time highs with any follow-through. If you're buying bull breaks of all-time highs, you're making poor entries. The entries are on weakness, and pretty much the reason we're not seeing follow-through is by the time we're getting to resistance, we're already way extended. On this move, we were up 50% before we even got to resistance, and we even got $90 of follow-through, but we were very extended. Same thing again, we dropped all the way down to 1039. By the time we got back to the all-time high, it was a 40% bull move. So it's not surprising after going 40 and 50% that you're not going to see much follow-through on the resistance break. Whenever I see resistance breaks with a lack of follow-through, I scout a rising wedge. So I zoom in, I draw my resistance line that continues to reject the price. Didn't even get up to it here on this most recent attempt. And then I draw my support line. And in this instance, it's more of a channel than it is a rising wedge, which is a decent sign for the bulls. But next time we see daily consolidation, I'll be watching this uptrend line support to see if we form a daily higher low, anything above 1039, and watching for a daily higher low, potentially off of that uptrend support line. But it's a nice clear channel at this point, and it allows for some opportunity where, if you look at a move like this and you're saying, oh, it's so extended, I don't want an entry, you just got to find a support level that you can clearly play off of. One of the support levels that I played off of was 1300. So I saw this pull back at 1300 and then this bull move, and I entered, I forget exactly where, but at some point on this move, I entered and just put my stop under 1300. We pulled back to 1310. I didn't stop out. And then I had a shorter term position for that all-time high. And I was scaling out a good bit into strength. And once we started to lose the hourly uptrend, I just went back to my core position, locked in all the gains from the short-term position. So psychologically, I'm breaking down my positions into core swing, shorter-term day trades, and just ensuring that at any point where I'm uncomfortable with what my position size might be on maybe 4-hour consolidation, then I just go back to my core, because my core is a size where I am comfortable sitting through 4-hour or daily consolidation. So ETH USD, 4-hour time frame, tightening up a little bit here. We saw a higher low bull flag attempt, failed resistance, broke support with no bear follow through, and actually that was a double bottom. So it didn't break support, and there's another playoff support that an aggressive bull can make. enter 1385, put your stop under 1380, and at this point, you're up $15 and your risk was $5. So there are plays off support to be had on ETH, a bit more clear than on Bitcoin recently, but I'm back to a core and I won't be going into any further positions unless I'm looking for a daily higher low, anything above 1039, maybe watching for first hourly oversold conditions coming off the all-time high. We haven't seen that yet, and we'll be keeping an eye on it. ETH BTC looking like a potential climax daily candle. The uptrend is still intact, anything above 355. If you've been watching the last couple weeks, we have been watching this 2-month inverse head and shoulders long-term pattern, where this was our left side of resistance, this was our head, here was our right shoulder, and it was significant because when you clear 406 and you clear 416, there is a lack of resistance above those levels. So it confirmed that bull break, and that was notable, and that helped push the ETH bulls back to all-time highs while Bitcoin was still 20% from its own all-time high. And recognizing these things and shifting a bit more capital into my ETH trading, my account this morning got back to all-time highs while Bitcoin is still 20% under its all-time highs. So maneuvering in the short term, allowing for keeping my profit and repositioning myself for the potential of a Bitcoin bull move from here if it is a weekly bull flag. I'm no longer at all-time highs at the moment because we have been pulling back a bit over the last couple hours, but remaining comfortable is the bottom line. Watching a head and shoulders potential pattern here on Bitcoin in the short term. If we fail this high of 34.88 on this bounce and then drop down and break the low of consolidation of 33.6, we will confirm an hourly downtrend and we'll zoom out and see if the bulls can hold a 4-hour higher low compared to 32.789. After rejecting from these EMA 4-hour resistances multiple times, we've already back tested and held them once. Bulls would love to keep that going while they cross bull. So holding 32.789 is important for me for the bulls to maintain this short-term strength. It's also important to note how significant the shift was from absolute bear control, looking like we have no support until we get down towards that low of 28,000, and then the bulls just showed up out of nowhere on the 15-minute time frame and stuck it to the shorts fairly quickly. You know, you see this bounce, you absolutely look for a 15-minute lower high, and the bulls just didn't do that. They just kept the pressure on shorts for that notable momentum shift. So hourly, if we confirm an hourly downtrend, it's all about the 4-hour higher low and EMA 12 support, which ideally needs to hold on a back test. ETH right now is a 15-minute equilibrium. And again, we'll be watching for potential daily consolidation shaping up if 4-hour EMA 12 support is lost. Some other notable bounces, Link was just a beast of a bounce. 17 all the way up to the 25s. So that is 45% bounce. Temporary top being set. Hourly time frame, we're watching for first hourly oversold conditions. We're clearly in an hourly downtrend. The 4-hour head and shoulders set up here as well. If 23.15 support holds here, we're going to be watching for a 4-hour lower high, anything under 25.84. And if we lose the 4-hour uptrend, we zoom out and we'll scout a daily higher low, anything above 17.10. And it was LINKBTC with a big leg up as well, but you can see it's now clearly consolidating on the daily. And these BTC pairings, the daily uptrend is going to be key to us because when the daily uptrends are lost, we know the Bitcoin dominance chart is going to be regaining a lot of control. So both ETH BTC and LINKBTC, daily uptrends are key, and that's what we're going to be watching for the next week or two. Theta USDT, nice tightening range here. 228 resistance just broke, but it's still a bit of a double top. And if we can get a more convincing break, and if the Theta BTC chart can keep strength and keep its short-term uptrends going, then we're going to be looking right back at that 251 level here in the short term. It's a weekly bull flag as well, trying to confirm it. And again, bulls just want to maintain an hourly uptrend on the US dollar and the Bitcoin pairing. Looking like the Bitcoin pairing might be an hourly equilibrium shaping up. But again, we know what we want to see when we're trading altcoins is a bullish uptrend on the US dollar pairing, of course, and the Bitcoin pairing correlated on that same uptrend. So worth keeping an eye out for the shift back towards the Bitcoin bulls, but we know it's going to take a while because this daily bounce, we need a 4-hour trend change for follow through. We'll then need a daily trend change for follow through. But again, if these Bitcoin US dollar bulls can keep their control, we are going to be looking to slowly be marching our way back up towards that all-time high of 42,000. We had news of MARA, the company, adding another 150 million in Bitcoin reserves. And again, we're going to expect those headlines are going to likely keep trickling in, and that can only shift the attention back towards Bitcoin because it's Bitcoin specifically that is in those headlines. So that is where we stand in the short term. Sticking with my core, maybe trading some oversold bounces on the hourly, but probably just going to remain patient and wait for this daily chart to shape up. And I might exit a bit of ETH, and I probably will. If this 1380 level breaks, I will exit some of my core, anticipating daily consolidation, and anticipating that daily consolidation could take us down to the low 1300s fairly easily. So I hope you're all well out there. Establish your game plans, stick to them, and let's see if these Bitcoin bulls can keep control of this daily bounce and the 4-hour uptrend. Lose the 4-hour uptrend on Bitcoin, and we're then looking at 30,931 as a key shorter term support. Do good things.